This manifesting thing is beyond vision boards. It is beyond speaking what you want out loud to the universe. It is a mental rewiring of this thick, dense brain of yours. It's basically a mental state of being, and I'm going to show you how to achieve that state of being. So tag along. We're gonna talk about manifesting. Yeah, bitch. Hi, friends! I have missed posting on here so much. It has been a minute and we have a lot to catch up on. Oh my god, where do I even start? Okay, so I moved out of my mom's house.
And blueberries and kale and
Okay,
like a mixture.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. I don't know what my mom is.
True.
I'm really just here packing up my life as I know it into suitcases right now. It's so weird. I'm living in Hawaii right now and it has been nothing short of amazing. Come on guys, I'll show you the beach. I graduated.
Yes, I did that.
Yes, she did.
We are so proud of Hannah. That is absolutely perfect.
This week's video is going to be all about manifesting, something I'm very passionate about. This video has actually been requested for months and I kind of pushed off doing it because I wanted to gather enough proof that it works. And if this life right here isn't enough proof that manifesting works, then I don't know what to tell you. Guys, let me show you really fast. This is literally what I see in the morning when I wake up outside my door. Outside my window. But yeah, we're going to be diving into the world of manifesting and I can't wait to get started. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start off with what is manifesting. So manifesting is consciously creating the life of your dreams. Your brain is literally filtering everything that doesn't align with your beliefs. These beliefs of yours are responsible for how you think, for how you feel, and for how you act. So these beliefs create your reality. That's the basis of like subconsciously manifesting. So to me, it's all about rewiring that subconscious part of your mind that is like secretly running the show. The subconscious creates 95% of our reality, so that's pretty crazy when you put it into like that perspective. Now that we have cleared up what manifesting is, we're gonna go to step 1, which is get clear on what you want. Now, I actually don't believe you need to have a concrete plan. To me, flexibility is kind of the key. The universe is constantly sending opportunities our way, but it's just a matter of if we are actually in a state of being that is like willing to receive those things. So it's really important to be open-minded because things aren't going to come exactly as you envision them to come.
The fact that tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and like say bye to my brother and my mom and my dog. It's a lot, it's weird, but I know it's gonna bring so much growth and goodness, and I kind of just need to trust the process.
I think just having like a loose idea of how you want your future to look like is the key. So for me, I always have wanted to live like somewhere tropical, somewhere where there's like more nature, less buildings. That was like the ultimate goal of mine. I wanted to be close to a beach. I wanted to have a kitchen with a space that was like beautiful for filming videos. Those were honestly the that I really wanted. As for like the future environment I wanted to be in, that's not even like manifesting my future like headspace or like future career goals. Like this is like strictly where I wanted to live. And I ended up not having things go exactly as I thought they were gonna go.
Hello for me and my Jovi.
I was prepared to go to a different location and it just didn't end up working out. And so that's why just like being open-minded to how these things are gonna come into your life is so important, because if you have your eyes like focused tunnel vision on a certain end goal, you're blocking yourself off to all the other opportunities that can actually get you to that goal.
Da da da, motherfucker ass.
Da 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 da, motherfucker ass.
Da 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 da. Fuck your ass, bitch.
Because you actually don't know shit. You don't know how things are gonna play out. That's the fun part, being able to like receive them and see how things play out in the end. So yeah, the first thing, get clear on what you want.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, like a papaya in fucking Hawaii.
Yes, they have them here, but it just doesn't do it. This can look like sitting down and having a deep journal session, even like a vision board. Just get a clear, loosely clear idea on how you want this next month or year or whatever to look like. This is an individual thing. Can't really help you more than that. You go, you do it, girl. It's your turn now. Step 2 is to put in the work to make your mind believe that the things you are manifesting are actually attainable, aka grind your ass off. So I have an interview right now with Pulse Spikes magazine. I'm so nervous. I get really socially anxious. Our mind is very, very powerful and it's constantly searching for things to validate.
What up, YouTube? Jeez.
Or devalidate our beliefs. So obviously to get to a place where you want to be, it requires work.
This is the final supper.
It's not just literally speaking, oh, I want to live in Hawaii one day and I want to have a house by the beach. Like, if you aren't taking any action to actually get yourself there, your mind is gonna hear that and be like, okay, bitch, like, keep dreaming, basically. When I was growing up, the social media world around health was like pretty toxic, only showing their best self, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I be like these girls who are having like a seemingly perfect life? But that's just not true. They weren't posting like the hardships in their lives. When I did start to get a following, get a platform, I made it such a priority of mine to show my real and raw self. So if I'm in a good mood, my followers are the first to know that. If I'm going through it, they're also the first to know that, and I think that's really important, that transparency. So what I did was I put my head down and I grinded for months. It sucked. It sucked because like
Literally the last year, I haven't like let myself experience life because I've just been like, okay, you need to save up like this amount of money so you can afford to move out.
in the time it sucks, but like I promise the grinding phase is 100% worth it.
Just us driving in our fucking car. Oh, in Hawaii.
Oh, look to the right.
What the fuck is my life, dude?
If you put the work in and if you get on that state of being, like, it's just a matter of that actually coming in your life. And we'll touch more on that in the next step because that's the key. But let's stick to what we're talking about right now. I really did have to work hard to get here. For me, this looked like a lot of behind the scenes work. Once I started to build a following on social media, I kind of viewed it as my opportunity to make all of these very big dreams of mine possible.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I got a camera, so I'm officially a YouTube person. I saved up all of my money from previous brand deals. I started my own business. Eventually, I got to a point where I was able to make a little over 6 figures, something I literally never thought was possible. We've already grown this much in 1 year. What the fuck is this gonna become? Like, it's serious. Something I also sort of attribute to manifesting, because again, that was something I had to do, was break down those limiting beliefs that I had with money growing up. But that's the beauty of reprogramming, because once you really figure out what those root beliefs are that are messing you up, you're able to rip them out and replace them with something else.
Good morning, baddies.
Also, guys, stay consistent.
Say hey to the vlog. I'm documenting my last couple days at home.
Hi, vlog.
If you realize that this whole time you're working your ass off, it's to get you to where you want to be, it makes it so much more easy and so much more worthwhile. It's just a matter of, like, again, actually believing that these things you're working towards are already yours and are possible for you.
We're twinning.
So once your mind is put at ease and sees that you're actually putting in the work to make these manifestations a reality, it becomes pretty smooth sailing from there. Which brings me to my next point, which is how to mentally get there. Woohoo! The fun part. So once enough things in your life start happening, your mind is now in a position where it is finally convinced that all of these things that you're manifesting is actually possible. Get excited, get fucking hyped. You have put in the work and now it is time to let these things come into fruition.
Last day
Paparazzi, paparazzi.
So now you're in the position where you get to obsess over whatever it is that your little heart desires. The work has been put in, you now know that all of these things are making their way towards you. So let yourself feel that happiness, let yourself feel that gratitude for all that is going to come.
I can't believe I'm freaking leaving, man.
So sad.
I know, it is sad.
Look on the bigger and better things.
Yeah, true.
Every single morning, I would feel what it felt like to wake up in this bed that I'm waking up in right now.
So we are about to pull on the street that our Airbnb is on.
We have looked at this street for so long, and now we're driving down it.
I would feel what it felt like to open my eyes and have this be my view outside of my window. So to get more technical with all this, with mentally getting yourself there.
Last time driving the whip.
So everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and I'm not gonna get all into all this shit, but basically the frequency of our thoughts is much faster than the frequency of like physical material possessions. We can think of anything we want instantly. Our thoughts are able to connect to whatever we want on an energetic level instantly. Like for example, if I was still back in my home that I was living in before this, I could close my eyes and on an energetic scale, I could actually get to me sitting in this room.
No way. Happy tears. Like, you know when you've just been waiting on something for so long?
This is literally better than I imagined.
Yes, literally.
Oh my god! Basically, like actually getting your mental state where you want to physically be in this material world is huge, and attaching that feeling to it too heightens all of your manifestations, because you're actually putting out into the universe that you are there. You're just not physically there, but it's just a matter of like actually getting there. It sounds weird until you actually start trying it in your life, and then you're like, whoa. So yeah, pretty much close your eyes and allow yourself to feel that feeling of what it's gonna be like when all of this stuff comes true. So just like taking deep breaths and getting excited for all of these things that are coming your way. Like I said, it needs to be backed up by you actually doing stuff in the real world, but mentally getting yourself there is huge. Game changer. One more thing about mentally getting yourself there. If you're not someone who has underwent like a significant trauma or just something in your childhood that you need to work through, it's going to be so much easier for you to mentally put yourself on that frequency of what you're trying to attract.
Okay, I think that's good.
However, if you're someone that does have a lot of shadow work to do, a lot to work through.
Oh my god. Juicy. It's perfect. It's so good. Oh, thank you.
Then you get the pleasure of doing that extra work, and it sucks. It sucks looking yourself in the mirror and seeing that like dark side of yourself that you're repressing, but it's necessary to actually reprogram that mind.
I feel like I'm constantly experiencing a death and rebirth of like some version of me.
Yeah, I would agree. You ain't changing.
You dying.
It's so much easier to just mentally get yourself on that wave of like, oh yes, all of this is possible for me, if you've been surrounded by positive people who believe in you your whole life. But if you've been surrounded by people who doubt you, who make you feel small, who limit your perception of what you can actually achieve, then it's so much harder to get there, because you have to work through so much shit that tells you otherwise, that tells you that you can't get there. If you're in that position where that's something that you're gonna have to work through, I just want you to be patient with the process and understand that you putting in that work is the bravest thing that you could ever do for yourself. Just be patient with yourself. You got this. Yeah. So now I'm gonna get into some of the ways that I manifested. I've already have told you how I have manifested, but I'm just gonna say like little examples of things that you might not think to do that actually really help your manifestations come into fruition.
We just went grocery shopping, and I'm just gonna give a little bit of a grocery haul.
So one of the ways I was able to feel the feelings of what it would be like to be financially independent, my boyfriend and I would do this thing where we went on date nights. We still were like pinching pennies. We were not in a position where we had like a ton of financial security. So we kind of got clear with ourselves, and we looked at our future.
That's it.
And we viewed ourselves as being able to be financially independent. And some of the things we would do is we would have date nights regularly. And when we would go to these restaurants, we would not look at the prices on the menu. We would order whatever it was our heart desired. And it was just fucking amazing, because like it's so programmed in your head to be like, oh, I don't want to get like an iced tea for $3 extra, stuff like that. So kind of just like allowing yourself to go into that little panic when it comes to money, but just kind of putting out to the universe like, I'm gonna be at a point where I'm gonna be eating out in the future, and I'm not even gonna think about money. And on top of that, yes, we would be ordering like whatever we wanted, but we would also be saying how grateful we were to be able to order whatever we want, to not worry about money. And feeling that gratitude is so important, because it actually is putting out that you're grateful for your financial independence, even though it hasn't even come to you yet. Because again, you're putting in that work in the real world that this is gonna happen, but you're just so certain that this is gonna happen in the future. It's just a matter of like when it's happening. So it's exciting. You're feeling gratitude. You're like, okay, this is gonna come into my life at some point. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so thankful that this is coming to me in my life. Now I'm just sitting on this bed looking at this. Looking at this shit. I don't even have any more tears left to cry, but internally I'm crying right now. So yeah, eventually we just realized that doing that and doing other things like talking about the future we dreamed of on a daily basis was literally rewiring our brain to stop having those limiting beliefs around money. This doesn't have to be with another person. This can just be like with yourself, kind of practicing doing things outside of your financial comfort zone. Other ways I mentally put myself there was through music. Nathan actually introduced me to reggae music. I would be blasting it in the kitchen of my old house and just be dancing around, and like literally guys, in my head I was not in that house. I didn't know which house, because again I didn't know like I would end up here, because I was trusting the process and just seeing where it would take me. But I just felt the feeling of being in a space of my own. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've kind of seen my journey. You know that this is what I did. I would literally post on my story just videos of me dancing around, and I would say BRB, mentally in my island home. Or like stuff like that. And it really mentally, I was there. It was a familiar feeling when I got here, because it was like, wait, I've been here before. Other ways you can practice this like future you, person you're cultivating, is how you present yourself. So I actually went through like a huge closet purge when I lived at home and kind of like shed some of my old clothes that I was wearing from high school. I just felt like they didn't serve me anymore. So basically it should get to a point where you're talking about your future self, you're mentally putting yourself in the position of like how your future self will be feeling on a daily basis. It's gonna become a thing where it's like habitual to do, but in the beginning you can start forcing yourself to do this, maybe by writing down things that you want to visualize every single day. And again, I'm just sharing what is working for me. I want you to do whatever works for you. So I feel like I have covered everything that needs to be covered for this video. I really hope that I provided some little nuggets of knowledge to you guys. I hope this video reminds you that you are capable of creating your wildest dreams. You just need to stop thinking that you can't do these things. Like seriously guys, you are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. Honestly, I tell you guys so much like how grateful I am for all of you, because really you guys were that like pivotal moment that made me realize, wait, I actually can do all this stuff. So like thank you for making me see my potential, and I can only hope that I'm doing the same by making you see yours. I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful to show you all about this new life and this new chapter. But for now, this is the first video here that you're gonna get, but I really hope that this video did you good and gave you some inspiration. Thank you for being here, and I love you. I'll see you next week. We're back on our YouTube bullshit. Kisses.